boy JBoi. We got AP. We got Miss Valencia. How y'all doing?
I'm doing
Happy, good.
It's been a little while since y'all heard from us. We are run the Conduit podcast. We've got a lot of subjects we got to talk about. We've been quiet for a while. I've taken a hiatus from social media, but I'm definitely I'm still very much in tune with what's going on. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got AP hit me and he was from a screenshot. Valencia said we need to sit down and talk. So we got in the group chat and we got this set up because there's a lot of things going on in this world that I feel a diverse group of people need to be able to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How y'all been, man? Because it's been a little while since we talked. Well, I seen AP a couple weeks ago, but
go ahead, Valencia. Ladies first.
I appreciate that. No, I've been doing me. You know that, just real estate and trying to keep my son healthy and my family healthy. And real estate is booming. People, I guess, they're sitting at home and realizing their house ain't worth nothing.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I finished real estate school last weekend.
Oh, what?
I went through Champion real estate school. I finished the
online. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, so
that's good.
I was looking at and going to the classes right before all this stuff happened, and then I had hit my boy up, and I was like, is it? He's like, I'd wait a little bit, but I've been seeing people still buying houses. I mean, the market's still there, and right now rates are really low. I actually legitimately was just talking to my boy DJ Nappy about it because he said he put his house on the market, and they're closing on a house over there by Harlan. So he's like, man, he's like, man, I was telling him because I'm in my apartment right now, but I've got my rent paid up right now through the end of the year. And
that stimulus check hit.
That ain't no stimulus. That $1,200 didn't do it. I live downtown. That stimulus check didn't do shit.
You got that. You got that PPP, that SBA.
I ain't got that one yet. I applied. I applied for that motherfucker, but I ain't got it yet. So.
No, but that real estate is where it's at. A lot of people.
It's still booming. People still buying houses, and people are refinancing right now because of everything that's going on.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll jump into that one day soon, really soon. But I'll talk to you about that. Want to know what brokerage and stuff you're going to? But
absolutely,
since I've been in the game, I can help you a little bit.
Appreciate it. Every little bit, I got to be able to lean on the people that I know that have been in the game for a little bit. So.
Of course. I know you have your hands probably on the same people.
Probably.
Some of them I would say stay away from, but we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that off camera. We'll talk about that one off camera.
Yeah, off camera, for real.
You been, AP?
What about you? Yeah.
Man, I've been good, man. The pandemic been good to me. I can't even lie. At the beginning of the year, I quit my job at the gas station, and I had been working 2 jobs. So that was part of the reason why we couldn't get together, because I had been working 2 jobs. So I quit one job, and I was like, I could make that same money making T-shirts. Mm-hmm. And I went through a little rough patch, you know how it is. And everything just started taking off. Then my other job gave me a promotion, so everything been working out. You know what I'm saying? I just been chilling.
I can't borrow $1 for real.
Right, for real, right?
I'm gonna send it to y'all both through Cash App.
Appreciate that.
Here we go.
Pandemic. Honestly, the pandemic's been a blessing for me. My job with the base, on base, I ain't been to work since March 22nd, but they're still paying me. I started door dashing because I'm a people person. Mm-hmm. I can't just be locked up in my place, just locked up in here. I'll go stir fry crazy,
Yeah.
So I got decided to get out, and I was a buddy of mine. The very first week it happened, he said he made almost $1,300 that first week.
Oh, wow.
So I had signed up to register to drive for DoorDash 2 years ago. I just never did it. Well, I finally started literally after the first week of everything happening, and yeah, I can say DoorDash has been a blessing for me because it's allowed me to get hell, all these paintings I got these custom.
I love it.
And you got a little DoorDash Chronicles, right?
Yeah. I'm currently recording right now, and I have a dude that's gonna put it all together for me. I started a YouTube channel called Dashing with JBoi.
Oh, love it.
That's the weird shit that I see out here.
Taxi cab confessions.
Right. Basically, it's a modern day taxi cab confessions. I've been going live on Facebook sometimes throughout the day. You know, just letting people see some of the shit that I go through. But yeah,
that's hilarious. Do people give you grief, or are you making them put a mask on and all that?
Oh, like I don't deal with I strictly try not to deal with people like when they'll put on their hand it to me. I'll sit there and text them. Do y'all mind if I just put a chair by your door? I will knock hard on your door. I will text you I don't want to deal with the people because I'm Rona free. I want to stay Rona free.
I know that.
I am not trying to get this shit.
I'm with you on that. That's good.
I got my mom's a bakery manager at a Walmart. So I get those professional gloves from her.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
And
which ones I can go get me some of that Patti LaBelle banana pudding?
She right there on 7-8. She right there on 7-8. She goes.
Okay.
You probably won't never see her because she don't never come out. She don't deal with the people.
All right.
She's not a people person, so she stays in the back doing all the baking and shit like that. So she goes there at like 3 a.m. and she's out by like 11. So.
Oh wow.
All right.
They make some good donuts. I'll tell you that much. They make some good donuts.
I wish I'm just not a big bakery person. I'm not a big. I don't eat sweets and stuff like that. So I've never been a person that eats cakes and stuff like that. So
I wish.
Since when, JBoi?
Hey, bro, this comes from good home cooking, not from sweets, sir.
That's hilarious.
This weight came from good home cooking. Southern cooking.
Well, we should jump into this, y'all.
Yeah.
We got a lot to cover today.
Well, recently, we lost a great civil rights icon and John Lewis. Ironically, one of the, I think it was a senator, somebody had sent out a tweet like a week prior saying, rest in peace, John Lewis. That caused a lot of controversy and they were trying to clean it up. There was probably something going on already that obviously that we didn't know about. Then officially he passed about 2 days ago, something like that.
3 days.
Yes. Yeah. And he attended a lot of things right up to, I want to say, a week prior to his death or days prior to his death. So
he was a lot of the protests.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a lot of the protests and I mean if you followed him on like Instagram, he always he kept bringing up like things like back that happened to him back in the days. He was one of the last few people that was there from the Freedom March.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he was very instrumental with saying being for the people. Like when you talk about like politicians and like really being for the people, he was a last of a dying breed.
Yeah,
so it kind of stung me a little bit because a certain somebody's little tweet or whatever was very it didn't seem very sincere about it. I'm not gonna say his name because we don't say 45 names.
No. Well, you never utter the devil's name. But I will tell you one thing though. I was pretty disappointed in some of the business owners here in San Antonio for not lowering their flags, and shame on you. Shame on you. And shame on the workers for not mentioning it to their bosses. And I know that the person that remains nameless asked for us to lower the flags maybe kind of late in the day. But either way, I mean, you don't need the flag person to come out and lower your flag. You go out there and bring our flag down. Yeah. So shame on you, San Antonio. Shame on a lot of you business owners.
Yeah. And on a more positive note, we have a congratulations to Miss Onika.
Government name.
Yeah, government.
Nicki Minaj is officially announced her pregnancy.
Yes,
which really wasn't much of a secret, but she officially announced her pregnancy and revealed her maternity pictures. How do you feel about that?
I don't.
Honestly,
I really wish her the best, honestly, because being a mom is a tough job, if you will. It's a career because it's lifelong. Yeah. So regardless, everybody's got to clamor and say something crazy, but being a mom it's very difficult. So I wish her the best.
I mean, I'm not a person that gets big into like celebrity type lifestyles. I mean, they're another person, so I don't let whatever saying the glitz and glamour of what happens to them like affect me personally. Of course, I do wish her the best. I mean, the internet is attacking her right now. Like I seen on her Instagram, I seen a couple comments talking about keep the baby away from her baby daddy and her brother and stuff like that. So, you know, the internet, as I said, the internet is undefeated. Like
Yeah.
The internet will always be undefeated.
Do you think her career is over? Because, you know, at her age, she doesn't have nothing to prove. You know, but you know, rap is her career. She's not like, at least I don't know if she's like Jay-Z or Puffy, where she has businesses, you know what I'm saying, that, so, you know, she has a career in rap. Like, that's solely her source of income, I believe.
I mean, I'm sure she's got some type of investments.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see like the people she surrounded herself with to not have some kind of investments. But as far as musically, I'm willing to say, I mean, she caught a lot of flack for, you know what I'm saying, doing that song with Rainbow Head.
I don't know why.
I mean, Tekashi's a clown, but there you go. Tekashi, he's a clown, but I mean, they're both controversial. They're both trolls, and that was the name of the song. So
yeah. Well, she did say that she's retiring, but everyone says that, so you don't know really what to think. But I think she's strong enough. You know, she just makes features and stuff like that to come back if she wants. I mean, she still has the voice. She still has she says she writes all her lyrics. She can still come out and do all that. So I think, I don't know, people will miss that voice eventually. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah.
One last question. Do you think that if she continues to rap, do you think that the vibe will change? You know, sometimes when people become mothers, their whole vibe change and what they rap about and things of that nature. So it's more like, you know, she'll start making songs about being a mother and her child and things like that.
I don't know if I want to sit down and listen to a rap CD about being a mom. Well,
I don't think so.
No, but I don't think so either. I think that's just being a mom is just one little piece of the puzzle. You know what I mean? So I think she'll be able to dive back in. The question is, how's her sound going to be? Is it going to be dated? Is she going to keep it up? Is she going to keep reinventing herself? Yeah, that's what I'm curious.
I think it's like, I think that's where she's struggled as of late, because her last couple of albums her last couple of projects haven't been great. Like they haven't, like she's got the same material, and she's not reinventing herself. Now, granted, when she was the only female rapper like that in the game, it was easy to keep doing the same things. But now, you know what I'm saying, now you've got all these city girls, you got Cardi, you've got
Meg,
Italian, you got like Doja Cat, like you've got all these artists coming out now, and Nicki's still rapping the same.
Right.
If you're not willing to make some kind of changes and reinvent yourself, it's gonna be hard. Like, and her taking off a while to, you know what I'm saying, for maternity leave.
Well, she has to think about that. But Cardi B did it right, so can Nicki.
She should put out an R&B.
Cardi did it in her beginning of her career.
She sure did. She sure did.
She should put out an R&B album.
She can sing.
She can do a good R&B. She can do a good R&B album. I mean, you know, her R&B type tracks on her record, on her albums have always been good. So
her and Wale should not together, but period. Like they should do R&B albums, because
Wale's recent project was actually fire. So I like Wale's project.
I agree. Well, we'll see.
Along with everything else that's been going on in the news, we've had so much in the past couple of days. Obviously, Nick Cannon.
Oh yeah.
You know, he caught a lot of backlash for some.
Much respect to Diddy, though. Much respect to Diddy. Diddy gave him. Diddy said, "Come to revolt. This is like you. I want you to have your voice, like, because I agree. Like, I mean, Nick Cannon, like what he said, it's very true. Like, you know, and I mean, it sucks. You know, everybody's allowed to have their opinions and their voice and say what they want. And I say this to, like, you know, saying the racist people like that, when I used to blast them all the time when I was on Facebook. It's easy to do it, but you have to understand whatever you say, there are people that you have to answer to. And
that's right.
It sucks that the people at Viacom don't want to stand there and accept the truth for what the truth is. Yeah. But, you know, I mean, you have to accept the goods with the bad.
That's your phone, JBoi?
No, that's my ghetto phone. I thought
Hey, what are those?
Oh,
You got one of them clear light up phones. That's what it sounds like.
Right, with the
dial
black
phone.
clear cord. The one that we used to talk to for hours at late nights. Okay, we see you. We see
Mom,
you.
can you get off the phone? Mom?
Get off your phone.
No, what I wanted to say about the Nick Cannon situation is, you know how sometimes you can say things amongst your group of friends, but that's not the stuff you put out in the public, and you have to be careful with that kind of rhetoric, you know, because a lot of people of all different flavors, as my dad would say, are going to be listening to you, and you have to be careful. I mean, look how quickly Viacom dropped them. I mean, they were just like, "Oh, we were waiting on this. We knew some."
It's like they were waiting on it too. It's like they were waiting on it. But
and the fact that he doesn't own Wild and Out is wild to me.
That shocked the shit out of me. Like that legitimately shocked the hell out of me. I was like, as good as your business is, like, how do you not own that? Like, that is you. Like, how do you not have?
How long ago was he doing that? I'm sorry to talk.
He's been doing it for almost about 15 years, I think.
That's the point, because sometimes when you first start off in business, you lack that. You don't know, and if you're not advised by the first person, that Nick Cannon is completely different from this Nick Cannon. So he may have, had some bum deal.
Yeah, but didn't he start that after his business venture with Nickelodeon?
Yeah. I mean,
so. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, he's a pretty smart businessman, but what I don't, it might not have been his original idea. You know what I'm saying? Like it might have been somebody else's idea, and it just blew up so big that we just automatically thought it was like his.
No, but I could have sworn, and I can't confirm this, it's just off my memory, I could have sworn I've heard him say that he owned that. No, I could have sworn. I'm talking about in the past. Yeah. But I don't have any, literature on that. So, well, that was really disappointing. I did like that Fox gave him the opportunity to continue to work on The Masked Singer. Yeah. So I do like that. But Wild and Out, I don't know what's going to end up happening to that. I mean, who could host it? I mean, I know there's a
Ryan Seacrest.
I saw that. Yeah, don't get me started. Yeah. I like to see Cat Williams or someone on there with Ryan Seacrest.
JBoi over there looking at porn.
Sir, the guy that's delivering me is asking me for my address, sir. Calm down.
That is so funny. Well, yeah, the Nick Cannon thing though, I was really disappointed in it.
Yeah.
And what about the apology? I'm sorry.
That's what I was getting to. There was two things, right? Nick Cannon talked about Jews in the Jewish community, and then he also talked about, white people being savages and animals. So a lot of people thought that he got in trouble for saying that white people were savages and animals, but that's not why he got in trouble. He got in trouble for his comments about Jews in the Jewish community.
Yeah.
Jews, like they run everything.
Yeah.
That's true, but you have to be careful what you say, and I don't agree with that kind of stuff. I mean,
I agree with what Charlemagne said, though.
Say that again?
I said I agree with what Charlemagne said, though.
I missed that. What did he say?
Charlemagne said that he should have had a rabbi or somebody there that could have, but the person he had that conversation with, Professor Griff, is always a controversial person.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Professor Griff has been known for
Absolutely.
years.
And Nick should have just been quiet, but that's, okay, look, so everybody wants to be, as we're on Zoom, everybody wants to be on TV, but there is a delicate way you interview people, and I'm a beast at it. You let them talk. You let them talk. Yeah, I'm a great interviewer, but you let them talk. And that's your job. Yeah, ding. But that is your job. You don't put words in people's mouths, and that's what's wrong with the media right now, is the fact that it's so slighted and so biased. Remember when we were little, and the news was really news. It wasn't entertainment. That's the problem. That's why he said, I got to be careful with my words. He should have kept them in his mouth, chewed them up, and swallowed it. He shouldn't have spit it out.
Or like Charlemagne said, like, have that conversation with somebody from the Jewish community. Have a rabbi there to that way. If he said something, the rabbi could have been like, and they could have had a back and forth. Whereas it was more of a one side. It was strictly a one-sided conversation. So he wasn't able to get like a combative answer that he could have been like, okay, you know what, you're right on that part, but how about this? So if he would have had it in a different format, I agree with what Charlemagne said. So I mean, I don't take I don't take anything what Nick Cannon said to heart. A lot of what he said was truthful, but and I won't lie to you. Like at first, I've been late on a lot of stuff. Like so, when y'all messaged the other day and y'all were talking about it, I actually went that night, and that's when I found out about it because I'm only on Instagram and I'm only on Snapchat, so it's not coming across my feed as much as it used to when I was on Facebook. So.
Yeah.
And your OnlyFans is popping though.
Look at that.
Bruh, Pimp C said it a long time ago. Everything was going to the internet, so.
Well, anyways, he apologized and he caught out a flack for apologizing. So because he caught out a flag from the Black community, he posted some sort of cryptic tweets about that. He's like, I want to leave here. I'm done with y'all. And he also said that he contemplated suicide in the midst of all this. Also, one of his closest friends had died too. So that had a lot to do with his suicidal thoughts. But at the same time, Tamar Braxton supposedly was supposedly had attempted suicide.
Right. They said they found her unconscious in the Ritz-Carlton hotel. Yeah, she was with her boyfriend, but knowing Tamar, he may not make the cut after all of his comments. But for me, it really scared me because it lets you see the human side of things, that words really hurt. According to her fiance, he said that I guess WeTV had aired her new program that was coming out or is coming out, and it was a little salacious. They always want, I say they, but WeTV wants like the people and the Black people in reality TV to have all these fight scenes and things like that, or someone has to be the villain. True. And that's the way they have Tamar coming out as. And it just struck her, and plus remember, K. Michelle went out, has been going after her saying that she had an affair with Jermaine Dupri's
his daddy.
Yeah. His daddy, yeah. Which I don't know about that, but I mean, hey, whatever. So she's been hit left and right, and I think people forget the human aspect of it all. I mean, it's entertaining to those people who are not going through it, but dagnabbit, look what happened to this poor young lady at the end of the day.
People don't understand that we see people on TV, we see people with money or whatever position that they in that is not normal from the way that we live, and we feel like they immune and excluded from any emotions or feelings, and it's always like a shock, like, oh, I can't believe they got all this money, but at the end of the day, people have feelings, they have emotions, they are hiding a lot of these things behind money, behind a certain type of lifestyle, and when it all hits you like a pile of bricks, they're not always able to deal with it.
I mean, you got a lot of like artists that like XXXTentacion, Juice WRLD. A lot of these artists. What was the white rapper dude that Mac Miller?
Mac Miller.
Like they battle depression. Like depression is a very serious thing. Right. I just recently did meeting with I recently, not too long ago, like I started talking to a counselor, I was battling depression, it's something that, we feel like, no, this can't happen to us, but, like mental health is very much a real thing. And I always felt like, I was like, I don't have that. Like, I was one of those people like, like, oh, y'all got this money, y'all got that. Yeah. What do y'all got? Why are y'all sad? But like you said, words can still hit, like, and when you figure you got hundreds of thousands comments under your Instagram picture and a lot of them be hating, like, and then of course, we're in the day and age of Instagram Live, and people just like all throughout the timeline. Like today I was watching Steven Jackson. I was watching his Instagram Live, and people, like, there was a whole bunch of like people on there just bashing him, calling him a thug and all that stuff. And he said he addressed me. He's like, if me being a thug for the only 2 times I've ever been arrested was for one for the fight he had with at Rumble in the Jungle in Detroit when he was
Malice in the Palace.
Yeah, Malice in the Palace. There you go. When he jumped in the crowd to help Ron Artest, and then another teammate. He helped at a club. They got into a fight and he got arrested. He's like, only 2 times I've ever been arrested. He's like, so if me being my brother's keeper, having my brother's back, if that makes me a thug, I'm that all day long.
There you go.
You know,
go ahead.
People are keyboard warriors.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they wouldn't dare say that in your face. I mean, they certainly wouldn't. You know, the other day yeah, exactly. Well, let me tell you, the other day, my nephew, I put this on Facebook, was driving from.
Seen that.
Did you see it? He was driving to my community. I almost said where I live, but you know, people are crazy. And a Bexar County sheriff followed him in through the gates. And that just lets you know. I mean, he had a remote. Drove through the gates. And they followed him to my house. And I remember posting it on Facebook, and I'm looking through my phone on purpose. I posted it on Facebook because I was so disgusted. And I'm just like, you know what? I've been real blessed where I haven't been discriminated overtly, you know what I'm saying? And it really, really, really bothered me. But I came in contact with a keyboard gangster, as you will. And let me tell you what this fool told me. And I'm pulling it up right now. I actually screenshotted this. So I talked about, you know, my nephew and being followed and all that. This dude writes, his name is Rick Carter. So big shout out to you. We'll get Black Twitter on your ass in a minute. It says,
I might come back up for this story.
Yeah, I can't stand it. Can't stand these little cowards. But he says, I've been followed home by Bexar and Comal deputies. What's the problem? This is what he wrote me. Let them do their job and go on doing your thing. Be safe. Smiley face.
Did he do it on the page itself, or did he do it in your inbox?
He did it on the page, and I screenshotted it because I was proud of my response. Thank goodness, because this fool deleted the post. You know how they comment and it disappeared.
They don't expect people to actually like respond, rebuke to them, and it always happens. It recently happened on my Instagram. Like somebody made a comment on my thing. Karen commented on my picture the shirt that I got from AP. Black Lives Matter. I was wearing my shirt, and somebody came on there and they attacked my homegirl Jessica Michon, and then like my sis Cash, like they both thought, but like she instantly deleted everything and like blocked everybody, and I was just like,
she knows she could lose her job.
Yeah.
And that,
just like Rick.
Right.
I don't know why people would be risking their job for a few words.
But for a couple of comments, and what I think Busta Rhymes said, "Don't take my kindness for weakness." Like, don't. Yeah, I can talk proper. It don't mean I'm not hood.
Hey, I respect that.
Thank you. So, anyways.
Yeah, you know, for some people they think that it's that easy to just obey the law, just mind your business, just do whatever. But it's not that simple. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look at Philando Castile. He was obeying. He was in the passenger seat of a car. He advised the officer, "I do have a license to carry," and as I've stated a million times, as an officer, if you get scared that quick and that easily, you should not be a cop.
Yeah.
You know, and that kind of brings us to some of our other topics we're going to go to. But, you know, a lot of people are asking, what is the solution with all this gun violence that we're seeing when it comes to our Black brothers and sisters? I think that that's an educational thing, and people are like, get training and things like that. And I understand all that. It's like having a bad boss, send them to training. Okay, we get all that. But sometimes it's at the core. My ex, he's a state trooper. And he said what sets them apart from like SAPD or Bexar County is the fact that they have to have their bachelor's degree. And I know that sounds crazy, but it shows that they can complete something. And in that interim, some of the things that are psychologically going on might bubble to the top.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe that'll cut out, because you really shouldn't be getting out of school when someone was bullying you and then becoming a cop and then you bully other people. There's some issues.
You got that little gun on your side and your badge, and you feel like you're inferior.
Yeah.
And now you feel like that person that bullied you. I mean, if you think about it, like, I mean, one of the people we're going to talk about, George Floyd, I mean, the officer that did it, they had history, you know, like they working at a club together and they didn't like each other. So, you know, it felt like he had that built up frustration, no matter if he's been there a cop for 20 some odd years, but how many instances did he have before that people made complaints about him? And there's other, what's the word? He's got other, shit, I can't think of the word.
Just other situations, other complaints.
Yeah, situations that are similar to that, to the injustices that he's done, and they just swept it under the rug.
Yeah, they did. Well, that's part of the cult mentality. You know, it's the good old boys.
The blue cult.
Take care of each other.
The blue, it's called the blue wall. The blue wall is something like that.
Mm. Yeah, I call that bullshit. Like if you're if
we're gonna be blunt about it, yeah,
it's a bullshit. But like if you have a friend, this is the role of a real friend. You got a friend that can check you on your stuff. That's the people you want on your side. If those other cops would have stood up to that fool, you can see it. I mean, he had a demon on his
back. all they had to do was say, man, like, ease up.
Yeah.
Ease up. Like he's already in handcuffs. So it's not like he's laying down on his stomach. It's not like he's gonna be able to get up.
Yeah.
So, like,
well, he wasn't resistant to begin with. So why you need 4 people or 3 people on top of you?
Yeah.
It's not like he was fighting with the police.
You know, to the day I die, I will never ever understand that behavior. I mean, the way he killed him, he had look at your little girl. I mean, he had just an ease on his face, like, you know, like he
I've been waiting
a fly on the wall.
Yeah, it's all in a day's work.
Yeah,
pretty much. I think the sad part about it is the little girl. I say a little girl, but she was like 17 or whatever that filmed it. She's also battling mental depression. See, you don't realize how your actions affect other people. But God bless his soul. God bless his soul.
Like that was that instance, like, it really, you know, and this was like the first after that, like, you know, the protests that happened downtown, like that was the first time I had seen AP in God, I don't remember how long.
Yeah.
AP tried to make a little joke about me too that day.
No.
But no, I mean, it infuriated me because, like, you know, like, officer, to me, part of the whole refund of, like, or reforming of the police. I had this conversation. I don't remember who I had. It was just literally the other day. I feel to be a cop, you should have to get, even if it's your associates,
a mental evaluation.
Yeah, you got to do. You got to have 2 years, like, either in criminal justice or some kind of like psychology course. You should have to be able to. You should have to have one of those two, if not a mixture of both.
Yeah.
To be a police officer. Why do cops get paid so much to only go through 20 some odd weeks? All you have to have is a high school diploma.
That's not good enough.
Like, like you said, you come fresh out of high school being bullied, you go through 20 some odd weeks of training.
Yeah.
And you instantly get to carry this gun and badge, and you instantly get to go beat up people.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it sounds amazing.
I was in fear for my life.
Every 6 months to a year, they should go through some type of mental evaluation. Because for one thing, I can understand the stress of the job because you're seeing things that normal people don't see.
Yeah. Which
is why, you know, they should get mental evaluation. But also, when you're being told that this neighborhood is a bad neighborhood and to be careful, or you have to be tougher, or this group of people, or this gang or whatever, when those thoughts are put into your head, and you encounter somebody who's calling you names and stuff like that. See, what I always tell people is this: police are trained to deal with us, but we're not trained to deal with police.
Right.
So we're going off of raw emotions and things of that nature, and fuck you and pig and whatever the case may be. You know, if you're being trained to use a gun to deal with suspects or whoever the case may be, then you should be able to deal with somebody calling you a name or somebody, whatever the case may be. That's a part of your job. Like, you chose to take on that job. It's kind of like the military. Like, you can't go into the army and when it's time for war, say, I don't want to go to war.
Right.
You got to the infantry. Come on.
Right.
Let's go.
But that it's also like a maturity. Your 17-year-old self or 18-year-old self is different from your 25-year-old self. So maybe that time in school, because if you do 4-year university or whatever, I mean, that gives you time to mature.
Yeah, exactly.
I sold a home to a guy who just hopefully graduated from the police academy young. I mean, so young. And I'm looking in his eyes and I'm cracking up in the back of my mind because I'm thinking, depends who his supervisor is, because he's going to be molded into whatever they want him to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hot damn mess. And he might, who knows, that fool might be the one who is following my nephew into my community.
Yeah. Bear County's already got a bad rep because they're notorious for basically their SAPD rejects. So
yeah, Mike, man, let me tell you
I didn't know that.
SAPD is full of it. And Mike Hill, well, really, it's the San Antonio Police Officers Association. Mm-hmm. So they the one that's really controlling everything. You know what I'm saying? They the ones that are bringing these officers that are getting fired back.
Yeah.
And they made it hard for Chief McManus, who ends up catching a bad rap because of them. But Mike Hill is over the San Antonio Police Officers Association. Supposedly he's supposed to be retiring soon. I don't know, but I've definitely tagged him in some posts on Facebook and gave him some hell because they did a no confidence against Chief McManus when he fired Officer John Lee, who killed Antoine Scott.
Yeah,
you know? And even though they couldn't fire him, they couldn't fire him, but that was they stance of telling the public that we not with him because Chief McManus can only step down or be fired by the city manager. He can't, they can't vote him out or anything like that.
Well, one thing that might help, and I have a lot of people in the police department that are my friends. I will say that because there are some good people.
There are. Yeah, definitely.
But
hey, Josh, I seen your brother recently.
Oh, yeah. He told me he saw because you remember that one time when we all met up at Starbucks.
Yeah. I seen him at the gas station. But go ahead, Valencia. I'm sorry that
no, it's all good. I know how it is when things pop in your mind. But what I was saying was, when how they're talking about defunding the police and everything like that, maybe they should just kind of, how like when you go to work and there's a new manager or a new owner and they don't fire you, but you got to reapply for your job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe they need to do that. And all the good cops, you'll be safe. It's those of you who are lower level souls that have to worry about yourself. I think that's what we need to do.
Well, so my cousin sent me the San Antonio police gets $479 million. The Housing, Health, and Human Services get $52.4 million. And the Community Development and Improvement Projects get $34.8 million from the city. So that's San Antonio police get almost $400 million more dollars than these other organizations. And listen, I understand that the police need certain things to do their jobs. I mean, you don't even see regular police cars. Like everybody driving SUVs these days. But at the same time, that money could definitely be used for training. It could be used for so many other things. It could be used for creating what do they call it? Like basically like who is on the tip of my tongue? Arbitrary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That when officers get in trouble when they do certain things that's not associated with the police, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't have any specific ties. So you're talking about private citizens and whatever the case may be, that nobody knows who these people are, you know what I'm saying? These they come together and they review these cases, they review these files, like the officer who fed the homeless guy the feces. He should have never got his job.
Oh, that was ridiculous. I'm like,
yeah, so when you have police shootings and stuff like that, you have this group of people that nobody knows who they are. That's unanimous. I mean, not unanimous, anonymous.
Anonymous. It's okay.
Anonymous, and they sit down, they come together, and they say, boom, boom, boom. These are the facts. This is the case. This was going on, and then I would trust that system more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? They can
it would have to be someone who's not associated with the police department, because the internal affairs is supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And some of the, I will say this, when my niece was like 8 months pregnant, she was sitting out in her car with her fiance, and an off-duty police officer came up and had his gun drawn on them. It was the dumbest crap ever. But my sister contacted INS, and they took care of everything. So it's situational and who you contact. But I think if you get in touch with a department, or they set up a department where they're not, brothers of the police department, maybe community citizens or something like that, I think more justice will happen.
Yeah, that's why I said private citizens. But
you're right. You're right.
Yeah, they can use that money for that.
100%. You're on it.
Like, I mean, give the power back to the communities to be able to police themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of that would help a lot, because you do have a lot of people that do want better for their community. So they would watch out for their community if they had the power to be able to do it without having any issues blow back on them.
Yeah.
There's so much. It's scary because you'll have those George Zimmermans too. So you have to, there's a lot that comes with that. I really don't.
They definitely shouldn't be armed. Like they should have, you should have some kind of like special training to be able to be an armed one of those. Like that still blows my mind. That, I mean, even they had the 911. They were telling him, do not draw, leave him alone. But
ridiculous.
He completely avoided what they told him to do, back off, and he still got out. Now he's out here signing Skittles bags and shit like that.
Being a city, what you was talking about, Josh, how you was talking about give citizens the power to police themselves. That's kind of like the sheriff's department. Like, you don't get a gun right away.
Yeah.
You have to take a test or whatever it is to be able to, basically get your gun, to carry a gun, to be able to, basically the guards you see in the county jail, a lot of them are the ones who don't have the power to carry guns out on the streets or whatever the case may be. So to be able to have that power to carry a gun, but they should have something set up like that where, you have private citizens in certain neighborhoods, and they have the power to not necessarily, they don't have to carry a gun, but they still are public servants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's smart. That's a good idea, actually.
And they have a uniform, and they can call, and they calls are going straight through. Hey, we need assistance, and they call in the information and whatever the case may be. Yeah. I mean, everybody doesn't. The thing about it is that, like, up the street from me, I have a highway patrolman up the street from me, and like Converse police rides through my neighborhood, but they don't have nothing else to do. That's why they always doing that. So
that's a good problem to have.
Yeah. So for the most part, people feel pretty much safe over here. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like San Antonio is involved, where you have a bigger city with more to patrol, most of those police officers that are doing that are in the rougher neighborhoods, but they're not patrolling. They're not getting out of their, like when I was young, you would see the police getting out and they talking to people like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
They becoming acquainted with the neighborhood and the people. Now they just ride around looking for criminals. So they don't have no real connection to the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the people that have been living there for years and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? They just like, oh, I know I could drive through Skinny's and see somebody selling drugs or some gang members,
right,
possibly make an arrest. And
like 2 years ago, I went through the CPA, the Citizen Police Academy with SAPD, and I did a ride along. I did a ride along with the officer overnight on the west side. No, but some shit happened. If it affects me, guess what? I'm 30-something years old. Goddamn it, I'm not going to jail for my ass.
Like, I'm gonna tell.
But no, I mean it's definitely like, I mean, I feel they need to bring back the, not necessarily the funness, but like bring back the educational side and make it okay for people from these neighborhoods to want to be an officer again.
Right.
I remember growing up, we were playing the game of life. Everybody wanted to be the officer.
Right.
It seemed like the cool thing to do, I mean, people were actually out in the communities. They were doing like barbecues, you know what I'm saying? They were giving back to what the community was for. And stuff like that needs to be brought back. Like you have to, SAPD, like in the neighborhoods should have, like, it should be required that they have to do some kind of like, your jurisdiction needs to have this kind of part, like not parties, but, you know, like picnic type things, like get to know your community.
A community give back.
Yeah, like because they have the days where they have one day a year where they do the get back.
The National Nightlife or National
Night Out. Yeah. The National Night Out. You know, and I mean the cops are supposed, but that's one time out of 365 days a year. How are you supposed to know your community one day a year?
Yeah,
like
I agree.
I feel it should be, you know what I'm saying, quite often. Like especially, you know what I'm saying, we live in San Antonio. We don't get rain like that.
No,
like hey, they should be able to do something, even if it's just burgers and hot dogs, and like they get the bouncy houses for free and painting. Like there's so much of that shit that they can get. There needs to be more of that out here for us to give us, to make us feel more comfortable that the people that are the police in the neighborhood know the community. Like,
exactly, because if they would have done that in the case of George Floyd, those other cops would have stood up and said, "Hey man, nah." Yeah, I agree with you.
And that's why I say they have the funds to do these things. They have the money, they have so many things, and they have the ability to go out to the community and do outreach and connect with citizens and connect with the kids and things of that nature. But I remember growing up and knowing the police that policed our neighborhood. Now I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't know nobody.
No. Well, I guess
or squares too.
Sure. That's true. It would be nice if for someone who's watching this who might have a connection to William McManus. I
emailed him, he ain't responded.
Well, he's got a lot on his plate right now.
I'm gonna text him and see if I get a response from him.
Well, let's see. I have a very good contact with him as well. I think it might be time for him to sit down and have maybe a panel discussion or something. And it can be done behind closed doors, but maybe something where he can hear suggestions from the community.
Yeah, we did something similar a couple of years ago, but
you're Kyle, right?
Huh? Yeah. Me, Kylie, and my cousin. Yeah, we sat down with him. He stayed for maybe about 30 minutes to an hour, 45 minutes, I think it was. Then it's another guy who his last name is Hale too, but not the same Hale that's over there. But Lieutenant Hale had the rest of the conversation with us.
Wow. Well, I think it's important. I mean, I think in the little bit of time, if he only has 30 minutes to an hour, which is actually a lot.
Yeah.
If you don't get to that chitter chatter and you just get to the point, you go in with some solutions and not the problem. I think a lot can change.
Everything written down that you want to talk about and not get sidebar conversation.
Yeah, and hold them to it. You know, have to have that follow up. So I'll be down. I'll help you with that if you want.
Sure, I'm gonna get with you, Valencia. All of this, George Floyd and defund the police talk also sparked up I don't want to say, because Black Lives Matter been around.
Oh, yeah.
But it seemed like this was more of a springboard for so much more all around the world. And a lot of people question why. I don't know if y'all seen the video with Candace Owens where she was going in on George Floyd and saying, people was holding him as a martyr and things of that nature. But I think what it was for this situation was when you see people get shot, when you see videos getting shot, depends on who you are. You may say, well, why was they running? Or why was they doing X, Y, and Z? Well, in this George Floyd case, and not saying that those were justified, but in this George Floyd case, you got a tinkle, JBoi?
Yeah, I think his post is in, but it's okay. I got you.
All right. In this George Floyd case, I think what it was the fact that he wasn't combative. You could, from all the angles that they showed, it wasn't like he was fighting with the police. He wasn't running from the police. But I always tell people, I use stabbing as an example. When you talk about somebody doing a drive-by, it's not as personal as somebody stabbing you.
Right.
So in this case, where somebody got their knee on their neck and they're basically choking you to death, you know what I'm saying? That's more personal.
It was.
Yeah, somebody shooting you. So, and then you talking about 8 minutes and 46 seconds, almost 10 minutes. Like I think the longest you can hold your breath underwater is about 8 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
well, not me. So it's more like 30 seconds. But I mean, that was the sad part about it all, because when he started crying for his mom,
yeah,
you know, that's it was just inhumane.
I have a confession.
Say it again.
I have a confession. Okay. I've never watched the video.
Well, be thankful for that.
I always tell people that I need to protect my soul.
Yes.
So I don't watch certain things. So I seen some of the video. I've never seen the whole video, but just the still shot, the still pictures are enough for me. And everybody explained it, but it's hard for me to watch things like that because
I'm the same way. I'm very sensitive, and when I watched the video at the time, they were saying he was still alive and he died in the ambulance or at the hospital. But now that I saw his last breath, I mean, it truly disturbs me. Truly.
Yeah.
So I wish I hadn't seen it, but I'm glad I did, because it really does ignite a certain type of fire inside of me that I don't think would have resonated if I didn't see the video.
Yeah.
So it really makes a difference.
Yeah, when you see this, at first everybody just seen him, and they seen him with his hands in his pants and just chilling like all in a day's work. And then you find out that 2 other officers was also on top of him. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why was this necessary? So people are fed up, not just black people, but people in general are fed up, and I think that's what it was, of course you got these people who want to cause chaos, but then you had people who was really protesting and wanting to stand up for something, because you're dealing with 3 generations, right? You're dealing with my mom's generation, my mom is 65 years old. Mm-hmm. You're dealing with that generation of people. You're dealing with my generation who, we Rodney King, we're Trayvon Martin, and whatever the case may be, and then you got these younger kids. My son's generation. My son is 18 years old, going on 19. You got that space of say 16 to 23 or maybe 25. That's like, I'm seeing it so much because it's the internet. So you're seeing Sandra Bland, you're seeing Michael Brown, you're seeing Philando Castillo and all these people. They missed the Sean Bells and the Rodney Kings and all these people that came before that. You know what I'm saying? So they seeing all these things, and it seemed like it's back to back, back to back, back to back. Ahmaud, Aubrey. You seeing this and you like man, it's
well, and it's always been there. It's completely different now because you have the cell phones, and thank God we can video it, because without that proof, and I think that's the difference. Going back to what you were saying about seeing that it was really no confrontation or something, but I think just seeing it on video, because before, back in the day, it was like, oh well, the police report says, he had a history of. Yeah. Because that's the way they would paint it in the news, like, oh, he was violent, he used to sell drugs. And then they did try it when they said he died, but he had complications to COVID. It's like, what the hell does that have to do with it? Maybe he had complications to your damn knee on my neck. It's stupid.
Candace Owens, in her video, she was saying that I think he had meth in his system, and supposedly he had drugs on him. And that was what I was saying. Like, none of that had to do with this officer killing him.
Yeah. Like someone said, like, a deal.
Yeah.
No. A death is not a death sentence should be decided by a jury.
Yeah.
There's nothing criminal unless they are absolutely shooting at you. There is nothing that is considered for a criminal are a murder. Like everything, anything else is murder. Like if somebody's shooting at the officer, if there is clear video that they are aiming a gun and shooting at you, I understand. Yeah. But other than that, everything else is considered murder to me because you are taught not to. Especially a guy that's down on the ground with his hands behind his back. Like
and take it back further than that. It's over $20.
Yeah,
right.
He died over $20.
A possible counterfeit.
Yeah.
Possible. And that's.
And then you go back to Michael Brown with the loose cigarette, selling a Lucy.
Yeah.
You know, in New York.
That was Eric Gardner.
Eric Gardner.
Yeah, Eric Gardner. Yeah.
What's the dude that was selling CDs?
Alvin Sterling.
Yeah. So like there's just so many things that none of that was going to be considered. One, it's not going to be considered a felony. So like, I mean, none of that required murder. Like, who are you to be the judge, jury, and the executioner? As an officer, you are not none of those.
You're not. You're here to serve and protect, and that's
all police cars no longer have that on their car anymore.
You know what? That is true.
They took that off about, I want to say it was about 7 or 8 years ago. They took that off all police cars.
Well, you know what?
SAPD still got that on there.
I never even noticed that.
They don't. Look for it next time you see a SAPD car. They don't have it on there no more. Because I asked that in my, and when I was in that class, I asked why did that get taken off. And they said that the police association of the USA, they asked for it to be taken off.
Well, I will tell you this. You see, a lot of people with bad kids ain't gonna like this, but bad kid, bad parent, and sometimes bad police officer,
bad parent.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, it says protecting the Alamo community.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't say serve and protect, so
yeah,
it is what it is.
Because they're not here to protect and serve.
Well, someone who wants to protect and serve us right now is Kanye West.
You got me full on inhale on my hooper.
You vote for Kanye, JBoi?
Absolutely not.
No.
I vote for him to seek real guidance and real counseling.
Yeah.
I mean, the man said, like, when he talked about Rosa Parks and like she didn't free slaves.
Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
All black people don't look like JBoi.
Stop. But yeah, well, they see a lot of his. I'm sorry, I cut you off. A lot of his family and friends are really concerned about him. He even came out and said that he wanted Jay-Z to be his running mate. So there's something going on with Kanye.
I think that Kanye, man, I think Kanye needs some help, but he needs a different type of help. One, he definitely needs some mental help. Mm-hmm. I think he needs to deal with whatever's in his past, start with his mom and all those other things. But also, I just think he needs education. You know what I'm saying? So Kanye admired Trump, right? For being outspoken. I don't want to say outspoken, being reckless.
Yeah.
And becoming president and still being reckless. You know what I'm saying? So I guess he looked at Trump as him being true to himself. So Kanye was trying to be true to himself. But what he doesn't understand about Trump is Trump is smart in ways that Kanye don't understand. So you talking about an old man who's been around for years, who knows how to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Trump may not have been a politician, but he's been around so many people and he's a businessman. So he knows how to talk that talk and walk that walk. He may not be able to articulate himself the way that, people would respect, but he knows how to talk that talk and walk that walk. And then also he's a white man. So you gotta give him that. So Kanye not being educated, one thing that people are not gonna respect is an uneducated black man. You can have all the money in the world, but if you talking crazy, they're not gonna respect that. Now, if you're somebody who is educated, who can articulate themselves well, then people will listen to you.
Yeah.
That was the most moving thing about Obama was when people talked about Obama in the beginning, they talked about his speeches and how he moved people. Kanye is not able to move anybody when he talks. So there's things that he would need to learn to sway me. You know what I'm saying? But when
he's not going to sway me at all. I mean, he could talk. He could talk however he wants.
He may not. He may not sway. He may not sway me. But the fact that he's getting up there, like just watching him talk, is like watching myself talk. You know, like I'm smart, but I'm not educated in that way. So that's well. I'll use Dr. Umar Johnson as a good example. And sometimes he sounds like the smartest person on earth. But then there's other times you're like, what the hell is this man talking about?
Yeah. Well, that's because sometimes, like you were saying, the education is important because I'll just go back to radio. There's a lot of times I want to cuss. You know what I mean? And when I cuss, I do it deliberately. I know what I'm going to say. It's not a lack of English. Sometimes it's just for effect and shock value. I know because I think before I speak. And that's where, you know, Kanye needs to get a little speech therapy. Yeah. Speech therapy. Yeah. Yeah. So he's someone to coach him and teach him how to get his thoughts together and to get them out the way he wants them to be heard, because that's not what's happening right now. But either way, I mean, to me, it's a bunch of rubbish. Not that I'm a Brit, but it's rubbish. I don't even, I'm surprised we're talking about it as much as we are.
Now, well, it's a couple of reasons why we should be talking about Kanye. One, because he's attempting to run for president. Two, because clearly he has some type of mental issues that he needs to deal with. And then, of course, he's one of the most influential people of this generation, you know what I'm saying, of this time. So musically,
yes.
Musically.
Fashion-wise too, though.
Say that again?
Fashion-wise also. I mean, if you think about
that's true.
Forbes did just recognize him as a self-made billionaire because of his Yeezy brand. So I mean,
he's brilliant.
I mean,
in that regard,
most brilliant people are crazy. Yeah. They have some kind of craziness in them.
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of times we were kind of going back to, it's hard to articulate that genius. But I think if you get someone to kind of harness it and get it out, then who knows? But look, I've learned a lesson with Trump. I think you have to have some kind of governmental background so you can understand the statutes and laws and how to articulate and negotiate when it comes to our overseas enemies as well as our allies. I will be very upset, and no matter how much of a genius I respect Kanye to be, I think people are just not going to go down that road again. At least I hope not.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to win. He's not going to win the presidency because this country is still ran by rich white men. Really? Old rich white men. So you talking about these old rich white people, and I always tell people this: so sexism trumps racism when it comes to a presidency. But since you don't have a woman running, well, actually, there's a woman running for president, but she's not, making any headway, anything like that. But that's what I'm saying. It's so unknown that people don't even know it. But since Kanye is the black, guy that's running for president, he's not. We had our moment, and I don't think we'll ever have a black president again after Obama.
I think we will.
I think that
if only because the way the nation's turning, because it's turning brown. So there's gonna be, a black president eventually. I think so.
Well,
maybe not in my lifetime.
Do you think we'll have a Hispanic president before we have another black president? Because a lot of people thought Julian Castro had a chance. But
but they could get him, and I like Julian. I've met him and Joaquin here in San Antonio. If they go back, remember how they were swapping? Like Julian had like some things he had to go to, some scheduled events, and then he couldn't make it, so he said Joaquin. You remember that? They'll kill him in the press for that. They're gonna be like, "How do you know who's the president? It could be his brother." I mean, they'll just slam them. It was just stupid. I don't know.
Isn't one brother a little bit bigger than the other one, like slightly?
Look, I'm gonna tell you, when you're in front of somebody, it's like meeting Oprah. They say she looks so much smaller than she looks like on television. All they have to do is say the camera puts such and such weight on. You know, there's ways to. They do look a lot alike, and all one got to do is lose 5-10 pounds. I mean, it's not, you know, I don't know.
Height.
Yeah, but I would hope that we do see someone of Latino descent. For me, it's not about race. Just do the right damn thing. I would like to see an Asian president. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I want someone to get in there that knows what they're doing.
I want a human being in the.
There you go. We're humans.
I want a human being. I don't want a puppet. I don't want somebody that hates people. Like, if you have any kind of hate for any single person, I don't feel like you should be right to be able to run for president of the United States.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't think that nobody will ever get it right, not because they won't do a good job. I think that, you know, with Republican, Democrat, if a Democrat wins, then the Republicans are going to try to find something that they're doing wrong. If a Republican wins, I think the Democrats. So it's always going to be like it's like right now when you look at like I got a lot of black Facebook friends who are Trump supporters, and they are constantly like, you know, did Valencia disappear?
Yes, she did.
Well, anyways, let me see if I can get it back. Yeah.
Let me grab my charger real quick. My battery on my laptop's about to die.
All right.
Oh, that's probably what happened to her. It's a good quality on that flip phone.
It's a Motorola phone.
Well, anyways, man, that quick, I forgot what we was even talking about.
Well, when I lost connection, we were still talking about Kanye and his genius.
Oh, you know what I was saying was that I had asked about. I was saying that you know, nobody will never get it right because both parties will saying, oh, the other one is doing something wrong, or whatever the case may be. But I was saying that I have black Facebook friends who are, you know, they be going hard for Trump, and I be saying, hey, look, y'all know he's not gonna be the president forever. Like, y'all wouldn't throw away friendships for somebody who's only gonna be president for, if they win another time, 4 more years. Right. You know, and it's like, listen to me, like, at the end of the day, it's not about being a Republican or a Democrat. It's about doing the right thing for the people.
Exactly. And I think people forget the humane side of things. You know, even going back to boy who sent me that raunchy little message on Facebook, you know, you're entitled to your opinion, but it doesn't mean that you should depreciate what someone else is going through. Absolutely. If, you know, if I'm telling you that I went through such, have some empathy. Like, I get it. You have exactly. You have a different experience. I get that. But if I tell you my experience, just show some compassion. That's what we're here to do. We're here to love and show compassion. You know, don't diminish it.
As a president, I want to see somebody that's going to be humane. More than anything. It doesn't matter black, white, brown, yellow. It doesn't matter to me. Like, I want somebody to be humane, somebody that cares about people and doesn't single out anybody, because our nation was founded on bringing, like, of immigrants. Like, I mean, we have a whole Statue of Liberty that says, "Lend me your poor," or like, basically, bring your people. Like, you're welcome here. Like, this is a place for you to come to be able to strive, to be able to get better and do better things. And that's what we were founded off of. And the fact that we have a president now that is rebuking everything that stands for and just hates people. Like, he hates people. Like, he's not a people person.
He's an old man. You know how old people are. we go get that one day too and be like running the kids off.
The president.
Right.
hating every sound that they make.
I don't think he hates people. I think he hates brown people. It's different.
And he's pretty old, so he's at the age where it would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's important to vote. And, whoever you vote for, just be respectful of other people's opinion at the end of the day,
My barber's a Trump supporter. It don't bother me none.
No.
I
don't get mad at people that are trying, if they have legit reasoning, but when you get the people that talk, that say that they're Trump supporter and all they'll ever quote you on is stuff that they heard on Fox News, it's like, can you form your own opinion? Like, give me your reason, not what Fox News is telling you to be the reason. Give me your reason for being a Trump supporter. Like, one person I do respect, and I know AP, like, he's on your page, that dude Tyrone Darden.
My cousin?
Your cousin?
Oh, that is it. No, not Tyrone Darden. Not Tyrone Darden. What's the other?
Paul Darden.
Yeah, Paul Darden. Like,
That's your cousin too?
No.
Paul. Like, Paul's a hard-body Trump supporter, but like he has his legit reasoning as to why he is.
Yeah.
And it's like people that can form their own opinions on why they're somebody's supporter versus somebody that, oh well, I saw this on Fox News type shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's two different types of supporters. One, you're a supporter of that person then, and you have reasoning for whatever it is. I mean, I don't agree with it, but that's what everybody's allowed to have their opinion. I mean, music, everybody has their different opinion of their top five. I mean, there's so much that you can have. That's the value of being your own individual person. As long as you have your reasonings behind what you support, there's nothing wrong with you being a supporter of Trump. I'm not going to agree with it, but I mean, you have your legitimate reasons. So.
Yeah, I think that's it. At the end of the day, man, we gotta get this country better, man. We gotta, this for the people, man, because we're not gonna be here forever. So you gotta look at the next generation and the 10 generations, after that generation, and America as a country has to get better. Look where we at right now with the whole coronavirus and the pandemic and. It's like for us, it'll never be over because, our president didn't take it serious at the beginning and then didn't take the measures to protect the country. You know what I'm saying? Now he's walking around with a mask on and, it's like when you're the leader. So it's kind of like being a parent. Your kids are going to usually follow what you do when they're kids. So he's the parent of this country, and we're the kids, and everybody's going to follow him. They're going to do what he says. Not everybody, but a lot of people are going to say, "Well, this is what my president's doing. This is what my president's saying. So this is what I'm gonna roll with." And if it's not for the benefit of the country, then in the long run we're going to fail. You got a lot of Chuck E. Cheese is closing their doors. Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, it's disappointing at the end of the day. I mean, but that it just proves that you have to be the leader of your family and the leader of your, friends at certain points. And you have to make the right decision for you. Remember the old saying when your mama said, well, if your friends jump off the bridge, you're going to jump off the bridge. But, you have to be smart. You have to protect yourself. So for those people, and it's not a lot of us out there, but for those people who want to be followers, well, so be it.
Yeah. Man, it was a great having this sit down with y'all, so to speak.
Absolutely. It's the way of the world nowadays, apparently.
Yeah, it's nice to see you guys.
I attended a whole birthday party this way.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 20-something people on a Zoom thing. So it was
that's nice.
This is how dating gonna be pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. But I have seen people where they have their little wine glasses and they make their own dinner. And
what do you do? What are you eating? What are you eating?
And then if you don't like the person, you just stay like this.
Yeah. No. What you do is you get McDonald's and you send them Uber Eats McDonald's, and then y'all eat it together. And
I think it's cute.
And then talk about the movies on Netflix.
That's because you ain't talking about the games. You see, the Spurs are coming back, all the NBA, so that'll be interesting to see.
Oh, you mean the soon-to-be champion Los Angeles Lakers? You're right.
Oh, here we go. Well, you see this right here, right? That's me all day.
I wanted to comment on it earlier, but I let you know.
Hey, look, I'm here in San Antonio. You know, you got to do. It helps the economy.
Josh is here in San Antonio too.
Well, we're not gonna talk about that.
I was born in Virginia, came to San Antonio, been here pretty much all my life. I've lived in Houston and Dallas, but I've always been in San Antonio. But I grew up a huge Magic Johnson fan. So
well, there's nothing wrong with
after
that.
Magic was Kobe, and I just didn't decide to switch. So
I respect
the Lakers. I had a bad 5 years of my life, so I'm feeling good to be able to talk crap again.
Well, you know, it's okay. You know, I respect the fact that you're a Lakers fan. Yeah. I respect this fact too. As
long as they don't play the Lakers, I'll cheer for them because
I'm with you. As long as one of us is in the finals, I'm with you on that.
We in the bubble right now. I think we got to win. We in a bubble, so we might not even make it.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen. I might be cheering the Lakers on, but it's, you know, it's touchy.
I
like the way you think, Valencia. I like the way you think. Okay, you're welcome to come over to Purple Gold Nation.
When we say cheering the Lakers, we really just talking about LeBron.
Hey, I have some.
What about Danny Green? Danny Green, he's one of y'all. He was one of y'all. Y'all can cheer on Danny Green.
That's true. I like Danny.
Danny Green wasn't originally a Spur.
Hey, a lot of people ain't gonna like me for this, but I'm still a big Kawhi Leonard fan.
Hey, Kawhi's still my favorite player. Kawhi, even when he was a Spur, I have a Spurs jersey of his just because,
me too.
After Kobe, Kawhi became my favorite player because he had that same Kobe mentality.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question real quick. If Kawhi wins a championship with the Clippers, where does that rank him as one of the top players in NBA history?
As of right now, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, he's up there in the top. Yeah. Like, you can't. The man is arguably right now. He is the best two-way player in the NBA.
And the reason why
he will pull up and shoot in your face, and then he'll go right back down on
That's
the
right.
And put his hand in your face, and you ain't getting past him. He's locked LeBron up.
The reason why I say this is because if him or LeBron wins, they'll be the first players to win championships with three different teams, leading those teams to championships. Yeah. And even though Kawhi isn't scoring, 35 points a game and nothing like that, he has led these teams to championships.
We all know he's the best player on the Clippers.
Yeah, so
he's just got a hell of a role with him. Like, he's got arguably the best defensive team in the NBA.
Yeah. So if Kawhi was to win with the Clippers, even though people are trying to put a asterisk on this season right here, who knows?
Spurs 99 championship.
Yeah.
Hey, we all played the same amount of games. Don't play.
Yeah.
We still won.
Even if you take those that won away, we still got 4 championships that are certified championships. So
there you go.
But I think people are so caught up with I think Michael Jordan set a high bar.
Yeah, he did.
For NBA players, but I think that's why people feel like he's the the GOAT or whatever the case may be. But you don't have to score 37 points a game and all this to be as great as Michael Jordan or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, what Kawhi is doing, or even LeBron, is great in itself. Like, to be able to go to different teams and lead these teams. You know what I'm saying? And Michael Jordan probably could have did in his time. You know what I'm saying? But this is my argument with Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan, before he won his first championship, he couldn't beat Bird, Magic, and Isaiah. He struggled to beat those teams, which was, they was great players. So, he had to get Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen, and they had to put he was a catalyst of that team that took them over the edge.
That's right.
But but he needed help. You know what I'm saying? But everybody is like MJ. Every player needs help.
MJ said on that documentary, "There's no Jordan without Pippen."
Yeah. Well, that's the truth. But you also need a Beyonce, so that's who he was.
Yeah.
And then you got a Kelly and a Michelle. I mean, that is just what it is.
I'm Team Kelly myself, truthfully.
Oh yeah, she's so cute. Yeah.
But his Kelly and Beyonce was superb. I mean, his Kelly and Michelle was superb. Yeah. Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen was superb.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
Somebody said it recently. I don't remember where I saw it. It was on one of those sports talks or whatever. They said Jordan made basketball. Allen Iverson made basketball fun.
Ah, well, that's true. Like, I agree with that.
They were having a conversation talking about Jordan, LeBron, or Kobe, and somebody said, like, I'm gonna fuck your head up. I'm gonna say Jordan made basketball, but AI made it fun. And think about it, like he was the bad boy of basketball. Like he, you know what I'm saying, came in with afro, like half his head braided the other side, thrown out, like came in baggy.
That was that hip hop era.
Yeah.
We didn't really get it. We didn't talk about this. We were supposed to, but I think there's more to this Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
Meg Thee Stallion story. I think it's more to this story than trying to piece together. And the reason why
what is going on with that? I mean, allegedly. I mean, for him to shoot her in the foot, I'm like, what the hell?
I think he was probably showing off, flashing the gun. And it went off.
But they said he was allegedly abusing her. I don't know if that's true or not.
First and foremost, I've seen and met both of them up close. Megan Thee Stallion will whoop the shit out of Tory Lanez on a one-on-one. Tory Lanez is like 5'2", 110 pounds soaking wet. Like he's a small dude.
Maybe that's why he
is a big, like she's big, like
she's a stallion.
Yeah, exactly. But like she would openly be able to whoop Tory Lanez's ass. I promise you that.
So you don't believe that those allegations, but I wonder what. I don't know.
I don't. It's not that I don't believe him. I just think it's more to this story than.
I agree with you.
Because I mean, look. Truth be told, look, you got two things going on. You got the snitch narrative,
right,
where nobody wants to tell exactly what happened because they don't want to come across as a snitch. You know what I'm saying? Because Tory Lanez is free.
Yeah,
it's not like he's still locked up. He's free. He hasn't got online to tell his side or whatever the case may be. They claim they have video of this whole incident. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who has the video, why that isn't released, or maybe the police are reviewing it. But they did upgrade his charges. I think it was a situation where he probably pulled the gun out. You know how clown dudes do.
Yeah.
And it probably did go off because the shooter. Look, if you're gonna shoot somebody, you ain't gonna shoot him in the foot.
Well, I agree with that.
And that's what her bodyguard said. He's like, because the people around me, he's like, we don't aim for feet.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So if you gonna shoot, you ain't gonna shoot for foot. So I think it probably discharged him the way he was probably handling the gun or whatever the case may be. But within the next couple of weeks, we'll find out what really happened. And
yeah, absolutely. I'm interested in seeing how this plays out. Now that video, I'll watch.
Yeah, we also, it was one of the things that I forgot that completely slipped our mind was the whole August Alsina and Will and Jada thing. But
that's next game because I've got a lot to say about that. A lot to say because I like the Red Table Talk with Will Smith. Ooh, it was juicy. Ooh.
All right, well, let's come back real soon then.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm game whenever. Let me know. I'll make sure I'm readily available. Even though I made the time today, I was busy running around today. I didn't get everything I needed to get done today. So, but
I was supposed to be cooking right now. My wife probably mad at me.
I'm supposed to be eating right now, but anyway.
Valencia,
always great seeing y'all.
Valencia, you look good and young right now.
You're so cute. Yeah,
she got that glow on her right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maybelline.
When she got herself made up, she was like, "I'm ready." Where y'all at?
I'm ready.
Yeah,
she ready.
Yeah, that's her. She's like, I'm ready. When I was like, and like I won't even lie because I did text today. I was like, we still on for, and then like time just like slipped by me, and so when AP said I'm on my way home, I was like, man, I got time. I was by the airport. I was like, shit, let me go.
And I had to stop at Walmart, so you still had time.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Well, hopefully we'll do this really soon, guys. I truly miss, seeing you guys and doing this. And I know a member of our team is not here, but maybe he'll join us next time.
I'm gonna make sure he does because he was supposed. I had talked to him today, and he said, but I know he was buying new couches, so he might still be at the store.
Dang, everybody's rolling.
Hey, we all blessed and highly favored off of this Chrome.
Yeah. Got that pink.
All right, guys. Nice seeing you.
Yeah, have a good night.
You too.